it's now recording. Sorry, I had to wait for it to record. All right, we're gonna get going tonight. I want to talk about Plaza. I will do a Saturday class this week since I keep missing Saturdays, whatever this is called. I want to go over the call outs on the map, the meta for like how it's supposed to be played, and then we're gonna go into Wolf's gameplay. I will walk around the map in just a second, but I thought that this overview, can you guys see all this, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
That's where the light rifle is. Okay.
Okay, so if you can see from up above, this is the only screenshot I could find of this map because they haven't added it to anything. But essentially, if we quadrant this map off like we always do, you've got the snipe side of the map, you've got the hotel and cafe side of the map, or blue is what you guys call it. You got flowers leading over into yard, and then the back area is tram, and then everything else is bottom middle. I think everybody knows that, right? Do we need to go over call outs? Do we need... I think I can do that like in game. I can run through it real quick.
Just post this picture on student chat for homework.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
If I would have said that though, it would have been a bad idea.
Oh yeah. No. Why'd you know? So this map, when I went back and I looked up some videos and old tournaments and just tried to get people's breakdowns. Lucid had a good one. I can link it, of how he was describing it a couple years ago, how to play it. But essentially on this map, at least for Slayer, what you're trying to do is block off the map, own 75% of it, so that they continue to spawn in this bottom lift area by underneath sniper. And you do that by having someone over on here on glass, over on tram side. So this back area by this car is tram, which is the most important spot on the map to get. It's the greatest, it's the best spawn. It's got a lot of options to get off of spawn to be able to look at different areas. But you want to hold this back area, so you want to have somebody glass. You're gonna have somebody up on the ledge here, gold pipes, up above yard, so that they block this yard spawn. So with those two guys, you would be blocking tram, you would be blocking yard, and then the last guy you're gonna have over here in cafe, blocking all of this area over here. The fourth guy is going to be kind of roaming around mid, like top mid. He could drop down bottom mid. He could help out on cafe. He could help out on yard. He could go over towards posters, but he wants to try to not go into this bottom quadrant over here, this upper right quadrant, to make sure that they can continuously spawn in the bottom left. The spawns work pretty similar in Halo Infinite as they did in Halo 5. So for the most part on this map, what you're looking for is once you spawn into one of these locations, you want to get up into one of the windows and start looking towards snipe and make sure that they aren't there. You want to keep them off of it. You want to run in and grab snipe, collapse on there, but you also want to be able to make sure that that spawn point is available for them so that they can spawn in there. And it's pretty straightforward from there, looking mid, making sure that they're not sneaking out of there or anything, and then just helping out with callouts and whatnot. Does that make sense? Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me posters is so here, let me go into the game and I will go over these call outs just to kind of walk you through real quick what the map looks like. So change window. I'm gonna do this relatively quickly.
Hi, pineapple.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good today.
Good. You have a good day? All right, good talk. What's it called? Is it Solitude?
Yeah, sound.
I can't spell. Sorry. Looking right at it. I'm going to go through this, and then the concept that I want to talk about tonight is aggression, and I want to give some examples or talk about some scenarios just in playing with people over the weekend and last week and just in the past. I think I've hammered into everybody's head enough times about how to get setups and what to look for, and Halo doesn't play from just one setup, so we need to know kind of what are we looking for and how are we pushing on maps between like when we get the kills, and like what am I looking for when I'm telling people to play more aggressive or less aggressive to kind of help out there, so I don't look at Jason who's 12-2 again and we're down 2 flag caps. So this area where I spawn in is cafe. The idea that you're trying to go for here is to block this spawn and kind of jump up into one of these two windows and help the guys over towards sniper. So you're looking this way, and for the most part, as long as you're not getting a call out that there's someone flanking, you're going to be looking over towards snipe and bottom mid, and you don't need to worry about looking left unless someone's spawning over there. So you're looking over here, you're watching the guy's hotel, you're just holding down anchor in this little spot here, so that if someone gets around you, you can drop bottom mid, you can drop down here to be you know, harder to kill over here, you can get to dip. This is what you're doing here, but let me go over. So this is cafe, this whole spawn point over here. We can get more specific with the pillars and whatnot, but this is cafe. Coming down here, we've got dip because of this little dip here on the ramp. This is upper dip right here up until like about right here, but this is dip. This is lower dip. They didn't put any of the like markers on the other map, but Halo 5, this corner over here is market because there was a market sign right there, but this is market. So back onto dip. This back corner is hotel because there was a nice hotel sign right there, but this is hotel. You can also see in the bottom left of my screen, it does show the call out. It's not going to show that in ranked, but just as you're playing, you can kind of see those. This whole area over here, and in most maps, if you have a large area that's just open, is going to be courtyard, courts, something open, bonfire. Usually people say court. Truck right here, specifically if they're on it, but you can also call it truck. We'll know what you're saying. Bottom snipe, bottom lift, either of these jumps up onto sniper. So this is where the sniper spawns. This would be sniper, this whole little area around here. This guy's bench, I think it looks like a penis, but you know, we'll keep with the bench call out. Snipe tower is kind of weird, depending upon who you're talking to. They'll call that S1, this S2, this S3, and then what I'm staying on is S4. But for the most part, you're gonna have snipe back here, and then either nest, attic, or top snipe up in this little area right here, if they're up in this little nook. Jason asked where posters was. This is posters, this corner right here, because on Halo 5 there's a whole bunch of movie posters right on this wall here, but this section up here up above where the frag grenades are, this is posters. This would be under posters, so bottom posters, or I guess they call it alley, but bottom posters. This whole back room right here is loop because it loops around to get to tram, which is the next call up, but this is loop. This was where the light rifle spawned right here, so this is called LR, short for light rifle. So if someone calls out light rifle, they're on this platform somewhere or underneath it somewhere in this general vicinity. Up here is I call it ledge. Gold pipes was the old call out because it was gold. They took away all the colors on the map, sadly. Oh, sorry, this is soda. Whenever I'm calling out soda at other people, that soda machine right there. So around there, soda tower, pillar, underneath. We're on ledge. This is yard. This whole area back here is yard. Big spawn point right back here. Driveway down here. And then this is tram. So this is that spawn point I was originally talking about. Tram is pretty much everything back here. You can get more specific if you've got teammates, but back tram. So, and then this is window or glass, because this used to be glass. So essentially on this map, what we're looking for in a setup, or what you should be looking for, is trying to make sure that that spawn point back there is available for them to be spawning in lift, bottom lift or bottom snipe, over in that corner. The first person that should be trying to get this set up is the guy who's going to jump window, and you're going to start to get call outs. You're just trying to hold this spot right here. Your presence is going to be blocking all of this back area, back tram. You're not going to be blocking the yard guy though. So if there's nobody over in yard, they could push you from there. But the idea is you're going to hold this spot here. You're going to be looking for snipe, and you're going to be controlling their movement over here, and you're just staying alive. This is a vital spot for you to be able to hold. You're going to have another teammate, or you should have another teammate who's going to be yard. He'll jump up here on ledge, And again, he's going to be trying to make sure no one can push over from hotel over into cafe. He's going to be looking for spawners underneath here. And then if anybody's top snipe or hiding around the corner, you've got a great nade that you can, no, that's the wrong one. You got great nades from right here that you can chuck, if you practice them like that one, to go over and hit the guy who could be sitting behind the wall. But this is your little area. You can drop down. This is where you're going to live. And then the third guy, like I said earlier, we'll be over in cafe, and you'll be hanging out on one of these windows here, just kind of rocking back and forth, just trying to look for those guys. And you're trying to leave this spot open for them to be able to push out of and spawn at without blocking it, so that they, don't spawn there. Last guy, if you're not in one of those positions, you'll be hanging out around top mid, kind of bouncing back and forth, making sure that the callouts are being picked up, that guys are being cleaned up. If someone needs to be jumped on, you're going to jump on those guys. You can go up top snipe to kind of help out, but really your job is just to make sure that you fill in. So if someone gets through, say that they get top snipe and they push down your glass guy, well, now you have to make sure that they don't push from top snipe over towards your glass. Same thing happens if they're pushing on hotel, or if they're back hotel and they're trying to get into cafe. You need to make sure that they don't get over there without taking any damage. And if your guy needs help, you need to be able to get over here and help this guy out. That, for the most part, is how the map's gonna run, how it's gonna play, and what we're looking for. And what I want you guys to focus on is getting into one of those positions there, and then helping your teammates from there. Does all of that make sense? Any questions?
No.
Okay.
Victory.
All right, so let me see if I can get, oh boy, I'm gonna bring up a old, I still have it, let me see if I still have it first. Old Faithful. I guess I could just use tac maps. Switch screens. All right, I want to quickly talk about aggression on these maps, so that we can kind of get on the same page about what I'm talking about in terms of aggression. So I'm gonna use this. Can everybody see this? Okay. I don't know why I rearranged them. So I talked about this in a very early coaching session, but it was basically team shotting and the math of team shotting. So if we have these two teams here, I'm going to bring this team closer. They're all going to be middle. I don't know why I'm sorry. When you're shooting an opponent together, you're just trying to do damage, drop their shields quicker, and then move on to the next guy. And if you think about it, it takes 4 shots to kill somebody, 3 to the chest, 1 to the head, as long as you hit all your shots. So if everybody in line here is aiming across, so this number 1 shooting number 3, number 1 shooting number 1, or 4 shooting number 1, 2 shooting 4, and 3 shooting 2. If they all just shoot straight across from each other and they all have perfect aim, everybody dies at the same time. Scores 4-4. However, if one team all focuses down one person, if everybody on the red team shoots this bottom guy first, the first timing of a burst, so like on the first shot, red team shoots 4, blue team shoots 4. However, red team is all shooting 1, number 3 is dead. Now you have all of the red teams down 1 shot. All these guys are still full shields. Now you go to the second shot. Everybody on red team shoots number 1. Again, they shoot straight across. Number 1's dead. Now you got, again, we look at this guy. So the third shot, he's dead. The fourth shot, both 3 and 2 die. Essentially, you've got one team who scores 4 and the other team scores 1. Does everybody follow that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It is vitally important in Halo that you try to team shot together or shoot the same people that other people are targeting. Because if you're team shotting and everybody's hitting their shots together, the person who's getting team shot is not going to ever out BR someone. And if they do, that's just sad. So when you're in these setups, you want to try to get into a position where you can help your teammates out. And so, like if we're playing capture the flag, I'll go back to capture the flag because I love this setup. If we're pushing in on capture the flag and we get a setup that we're trying to go for, and you get your guy car 3, you get your guy P, and then you get your guys in utility to push out to grab the flag, you want to try to shoot the same people so that you can knock their shields down quicker. And you're not ever really going to get into a situation where you're going to have 4 people shooting 1, but you will get into situations where you can have 2 people shooting them, or you can have 1 person, or you have 2 or 3 people shooting the same person. And so you want to try to listen for those callouts. And if you're on a team, you're not engaging with someone, you need to get into a position to engage with people. So either looking towards the middle of the map, in the middle here, getting eyes over the middle, looking towards their base, or looking towards one of the spawn points that we talk about. So if you're on capture the flag on Aquarius, you should be scanning, their flag, top mid, this area, their flag over to utility and fridge. And you should be able to find someone by that time and listen to the call outs and pick them up. So if we're calling out, oh, there's people on their flag, the guys on car and P should already be picking those ones up so that these guys, as they push in, can finish those guys up, right? And then as you're looking for the spawners, as these first guys get off a spawn, the guys up top mid should be able to start looking at, okay, where are the next spawners going to be at, so we can anticipate where they're gonna come from. One thing that I see happen a lot is we get to this position right here and we'll pull the flag before we have any kills. That's a little too preemptive. We need to get the 1 or 2 kills before we pull that flag and then start running it, because we want to have numbers up on them, right? So there was a situation that I remember. I'm not going to pick on Monkeys, but I'm going to, because he's always trying to play for the objective, because we're always pushing for the objective. What happened on this map, and I don't remember how many people were alive. I think there was like 4 alive. But essentially, when we were pushing up, I got into their flag, and one thing that I always talk about is getting pressure. So always push towards their objective and keep the pressure on. And I just pull the flag out and I drop it bottom mid. This is an aggressive play because I'm trying to get the pressure off of you guys and get like a flag in place. So 1, they can't score theirs, but 2, they can't score. And we can potentially get a run going once we get those slays. And I'm watching the kill feed. And the kill feed is the most important part right now. Because as soon as I get a kill, I know we're going to jump down here and start running this. But what happened in this situation was I got it bottom mid. And then I ran it towards Dick over here. And so the flag ends up being right here. And I'm going P1. And I'm just trying to stay alive. And maybe I needed to communicate that this is a dead flag. But Monkeys came out of their utility and ran bottom court to grab it and essentially just dies. And then I run out there and then I died. When we're playing like a capture the flag, I'm trying to get to a point here, sorry. When we're playing I don't know what my point is here, actually. Because I don't have Jesus Christ right now. Okay, let me give you a better example because of Jason. I'm gonna pick on Jason for a second. There was when we were playing over the weekend. There was a time, and I called Jason out for it because I was a little irritated. I want to show you guys visually what happens when we get kills and we don't push and we don't take up space on the map. So Jason got 2 kills. I can't show it on here. We're gonna go over.
I got a double kill. Let's go.
Yeah, you got a double kill. You get a double kill, and instead of pushing like to get to the middle of the map and get like space, you back off and hide. And essentially what happens is you're up 2. So we got you kill 2 of their guys, and then there's only 2 left on the map. But then because you go hide, instead of having 4 people alive, we only have like 3 in the fight. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I hope it does. Anyway, I don't know how to talk about aggression with this part. Okay, we're just gonna go over Loyal's Plaza gameplay. I'd like to see people be more aggressive, where we're like, if we get that kill, because they're down a person, we should be playing towards our team to continue to snowball and get more kills and then once we wipe them, then we go back to that setup. That's what we need to ultimately get to. I've hit on enough of just getting to that, you know, that setup, but you can't just play the entire game from a setup. You got to be able to jump on those kills and get into those situations where you can, you know, continue to capitalize on the kills that we're getting in those snowballs is what I was trying to say. I thought I'd do a better job with the visual, but it was a lot harder than I was thinking. Yes.
Just because I didn't know the context of you picking on Jason, but was he hiding because he was one shot, or do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay, I was gonna say, like,
Now
if
there-
he's one shot, is it right to hide then and push up, or just push up just to be aggressive?
If you're gonna die, don't push out, because then, you know, it's the same situation where you're gonna lose somebody. But if you're not getting shot at, you have to recognize that on the field, they're two guys less, and you need to trust your teammates that they're going to be able to fill in that space, and you need to continue to push that space. I do remember that, like, when we play doubles, and I do pick on him for the doubles, we'd both be one shot, the other guy was one shot, and I would challenge and he wouldn't. And in that kind of a situation, he can't shoot both of us, so jump out with me and be aggressive there for that play. I think it'll be easier when I go through people's games and just kind of talk about, this is a time that you could be more aggressive here. And I want to see more. I'd like to see more aggressive gameplay while we're playing, or out of you know, while we're reviewing. Because for the most part, everybody's got pretty much the setups down and understanding get to those power positions. So now, like, what do you do with those power positions? Because if you watch that Space Station Gaming Optic game that we went over, you know, they have their setup and they kind of stick to it, and it kind of didn't play in their favor. They got steamrolled because of it. So you need to know, like, how do you collapse, and how do you know, when do you need to be aggressive, when you not need to be aggressive? Because that's a great question, Vibrant. You know, I don't want you just challenging as a one shot, but if you're up on numbers, we need to be playing towards the next spawn to continue to snowball that, because when they spawn, they're not going to be spawning at 4 deep. They're only gonna be spawning the 1 or 2 that you just killed.
Makes sense.
Is this the one that you?
No, it's gonna be on page 3,
Oh, okay.
and then top left, or I think that might be it.
King of the Hill.
Oh no,
This one?
not that. No, no, that was a bad one.
Slayer.
Which one is it? No. Maybe it's page 2? No, page 4. Go page 4.
29, 26, and
Oh, no,
9.
that's it. That's it right there.
This
Right
one?
there.
Okay. And strongholds? Okay.
Yep.
All right, and again, so we're gonna go over Plaza tonight. I'd like to go over Plaza again on Saturday, so we can kind of reinforce what we talked about tonight. Also keeping in mind the SWAT, or if you guys want, well, not this week, but next week, if we want to start going over SWAT, because that's the ranked game, we can do that.
Okay.
SWAT is going to be more so of the how do setups work and how do you get cheeky angles on people, less about how do you challenge people and make pushes. Fix the CSR. Okay. All right, you guys can see this.
Yes.
Claim and hold the zones, Spartan. The enemy has captured Alpha.
All right, so in the interest of aggression, Wolf, and I'm not kidding, when I play with you, your callouts are really, really good. Your presence on the map is not as known as it could be if you were a little bit more aggressive and had a bigger goal there. You do play to your teammates really well. When someone says, hey, I need help, you will stop what you're doing to go help them. I want to give you some goals of like what you should be doing here. So like off the start here, what we're always trying to get space on the beginning of the map, and I think you could do a little bit more if you could get, like, on each of the maps, find an angle that you want to hold and go, okay, here's what I'm gonna be shutting down. You saw that you had a teammate go up to glass already, so you didn't jump up here, which is fine. So I would opt, if you've got people already going to snipe, start running towards yard and start looking for these guys. If you're not seeing them across mid, like as you're running out, if you don't see the guys cross on truck or out here to Flowers or Cafe, you know that they're going to be in yard. So you don't want to over challenge right here, but you could get up into a spot up on like ledge that you could complement your teammates who are over here, but being a better presence on the map as you're looking there, instead of being back here. Like what you're doing right now is you're gonna work with your teammate, although they're already in the fight and you're still trying to get there, so your timing is a little bit behind them, that you're actually not helping them just yet. Being a little bit more aggressive here, a little bit quicker, I think you're gonna do a lot more for the team there.
Okay.
But then even like if you look at just that little engagement there, you're slower to get up to the like into a position to help, but you still are one shot even though you weren't engaging with anybody there. That is because you're not you're looking at that person. You got two people looking at one guy, which means somebody on your team is not looking at somebody on their team, which because you got someone in front of you, you're one of the people not looking. Which is what happens. I just own some more space there a little bit quicker.
Enemy team scoring.
Even right here, instead of going down to challenge him, going over to Cafe and trying to get across, I'd almost be thinking, how do I get eyes on parts of the map that my teammates can't see right now, and how do I get like looking at the center? If you don't know where people are at, if they're not calling out, I know Lady Mando, so I know you're probably calling out with her. I don't know if you're playing with the other two, but on like this kind of a map, if you spawn there, let's try to get to a spot that your team's not at and get eyes on things. And if the more you can see of like the middle to get more of that intel for your team, the better. So if you went up to a position up in Cafe to look out the windows and kind of what, like you can kind of wait a little bit. Like you don't have to fly across the map. You don't have to be running everywhere. You can get into a spot like this and look and go, okay, where am I hearing shots from? I know that he's getting shot down here on dip, so I can kind of look down and go, can I help him from up here? I can bank nades from, there. I can bank nades off here in case they go back to the market corner. There's a lot I can do from up here to own the map a little bit more instead of being like behind my team, right?
Right.
The enemy has captured Charlie.
Yeah, I have no idea what's right there.
And similar to like an oddball or capture the flag, any objective game, we don't want to be jumping onto the objective until we have an advantage in kills. Yes, they're going to get a couple points here. I know that they got a trip cap, so you do need to jump onto something to stop it. But when you were in a fight with that guy and you don't know where he's at, like, oh boy.
Yeah.
That's rough. I stopped that right at the right time. Those are the kind of things that could happen there. So don't be so aggressive, because you're stopping them from getting points there, but if you die here and then Lady also dies, they're gonna get the 8 seconds worth of death time that you're in there already. So wait a couple seconds to get the pick and then start flying at it. And with aggression, I also want you guys to start looking at the kill feed. What's going on? Because when we get into those setups and we're in a 4v4, we're trying to play for that first pick. Once we get that first pick, it loosens up and then we start to collapse on people. And if someone gets 2 kills and we're still 4 alive, that's the time that we're flying across the map, pick up the last kills. Whoever's not in the fight, you're looking for where the spawners are going to be at. You're flying over to that guy, and then you start to snowball people that way and start flying across the map. Play it a little bit slower here. Play for that objective, but don't just jump onto the objective so quickly. You ate that. Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's yours. Now we keep it that way.
All right, so let's look for our team. This is a good angle. Don't drop. You're way too far out here.
Too far. Yep. Big problem behind.
Yeah, and we can kind of tweak that. So one thing, I think I talked to James about this in one of his earlier games. When you're walking around, pay attention to like how close you are to like the walls and where you're going to be picking fights at. One thing I noticed that pros do a lot more and better than other people is that they deliberately pick where they're going to take their fights. So when you jump up onto a zone like this, they're not jumping up in the middle right here because there's so many different angles that they could be getting shot from. Usually they're going to jump up on one of the sides so they can cut some of those sight lines off in some of those angles, and then they're already looking. When they jump up here, they're like, hey, I'm going to look at this hotel guy. Or if they jump over on this corner, it's looking up towards snipe and then looking at the other ones and kind of cutting those angles off until they get intel of where people are at. And even if you got to, again, if you got to play a little bit slower, you can jump up onto a spot like this and get eyes and figure out where people are at before you throw your whole body out there. And especially like when you're walking around the corner here, you are so far in the middle of everybody, and you see that.
Yeah.
Some good survivability. Got to get our shields back first.
Stronghold Bravo lost.
Nice.
Enemy team
Nice. All right, so you help your teammate there. I think he died too. So again, something like this, instead of going out here to grab this, because yeah, you might grab it, but I need you to think in your head, even if I score this and I die, I'm giving up that position and my team is going to be down a guy that they're just going to recapture it really easily, and I'm going to be dead for 8 seconds, so they're just going to continue to score. Play, especially if you got that sniper. Okay, so you're chilling here on driveway. Let's clear out truck, and then let's start looking up top mid, and then if we can get a pick, then I'm gonna start looking at grabbing that objective. Right in this position here, I don't want you to fly at that objective until you see your kill feed pop up that you guys killed one. Play for that first pick. Help your team get that first pick, and then the other consideration you have here is you have sniper. You should be taking an angle where you can help shut down different lanes on this map. So jumping up to a window where you can shut down the guys who are going to be snipe, you can kind of help with the guys cafe. Jumping out to LR, you can help out with guys here. Again, you can go up to this ledge up here, take a different angle with those, or drop it for somebody else. One of those plays there. But the situation there is you got the sniper. We got to make a different play call there. And then if you don't have the sniper, we don't want to be jumping on that objective just yet because they still have guys.
Stronghold Bravo is ours. Your team scored.
And even though you're alive there, like when you're one shot, you're really not supposed to be in the fight. So it's almost like you're dead anyway.
Enemy team scoring. Quantum translocator.
Ledge or flowers, one of the two. Here we go. Okay, good. I pull back here.
Translocator ready for. Capture the dark.
All right, give me. I'm gonna show you something. See if I still got. Not gonna make as much sense because I can't draw, but I'll show you. So one thing I used to always do in Halo Reach and when I was playing is I would have in my mind routes that I would take on maps so that when I spawned in, I knew what my objective was for that life. Where am I trying to fight for? You got to spawn here back in yard, and your two thoughts were either to jump up on the ledge or go over to flowers. And you went over to flowers, and then you doubled back into yard. And what that does is it allows the enemy who is pushing on tram time to be able to push on tram without you being really in the fight, and you gave up this middle space here. If they're pushing out that way and the pressure's over here, and you know that there's a couple people, either look at where your team's at, and I'm gonna pull this back up. You guys are 4 dead. You guys are all spread out here. So you already had one guy die over there though. And so you had one guy die in yard on you. You have another guy dying in yard, and then Mando's over on snipe dying. So you're last up. At that point, you just need to be able to hold parts of the map so that your team can spawn in together and then start pushing out. Okay. Your choice to go from flowers back over into yard is really, really passive and allows them to have more space on the map. I would rather see you push over towards truck over to snipe, or back over in a cafe and get those spawns in there. you're giving up the visual is mostly what I want you to see, is that you're giving up all of this intel in the middle. They're already going to have two guys pushing back around and they're on a flank, but they're not helping their other guys out mid. So if you can survive and catch one of the other guys off in mid, you're going to be able to create that space that they're just going to have themselves over here in yard by themselves, and maybe you can own mid or over towards snipe to help your teammate out there. Less backpedaling and more pushing forward. So like on that spawn, if you're not going to jump up ledge and you go flowers, go over to flowers and own flowers, or drop down to dip, go snipe something else. I don't want to see you push out and then back up, because you're just giving up that space unless there's a really good play to be made there. But when your teammate is already dead and the other one's getting pushed, probably not going to be a good play. Let's play for something, you know, some other space on the map with the space that you already have.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you all are you had 3 dead there.
Yeah.
But so like here, if you can see it. Sorry for the motion sickness.
Okay.
Here we go. So right here, you just took the step back, but essentially, like if you're looking at this map, if you're looking around, oh my god, game, thank you. You've got 2 guys over here on tram side, and they're getting shot at already. No, you don't have those. Those aren't your teammates, are they? I can't. What the? Okay, I broke Halo Infinite. I know you got Mando over here on snipe, and what I want you to be able to visually see is that you have Mando over on snipe, and instead of backing up to go help your teammate who's already dying, own this spot here because you guys already have somebody over on snipe. So go over to cafe. Okay. Don't just run into the fight to try to save your teammate. Try to hold this spot here so that they can spawn back in, because in a minute, Fixture CSR is going to be spawning. Is this your teammate too? No, that has to be an enemy.
So weird.
I don't know. I messed it up. Fix the CSR is going to spawn over in hotel.
Enemy team scoring.
All right, now you spawn over in cafe. Nice. Now you're on the flank. Nice. So you come back. You're gonna help. Love it. You don't need to chase this.
Yeah, I chased it.
Your team scoring.
Yep. So like in a position like that, what I want you to see happens is you're already up here. You just grabbed A. I like that you're not going to play on A just yet because you don't have teammates over here. And you don't have control over tram. So they could still spawn tram because you guys are blocking cafe, and she was over on snipe just a second ago. So they could push from snipe over to tram and flank you, which means that if you're standing up top mid, the only place that you have to go is bottom mid, and then you're just gonna get lit up there. So staying flowers, I don't disagree with this, but okay. But when you're right here, you've got these nice angles on the enemy. You can get the intel, you can get the shots. They can't just get to you. When you decide to drop bottom mid and help her on a point that you guys already have and don't need right now, you're giving up the visual and you're giving up the positioning, so that you are now having to fight an uphill battle that you're most likely going to lose, and you're not helping your team with positioning right now. So let her drop down there, and if they have to drop on her, they're going to drop on her, and you can assist from up above. Like, I need you to trust your shot, and I need you to be okay with shooting across the map. Like, we need to be up in a position like this and not just dropping bottom mid. The reason we would drop bottom mid is if there's a one shot that we need to kill, or if there's someone who they need to die because they're going to get around us. They need to die, and only one of us needs to really drop down there. We don't need to have everybody bottom mid. We want to be up, eyes towards the middle, and playing for the objectives.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Because you said to not chase, but if Loyal had just walked forward but not dropped down, would that be alright? Just to do team shots on that person in the middle?
Yeah. If you're not gonna, yeah, you As long as we're like,
I didn't know if you meant to just like not leave this area at all, or
no. I want in your head to default to, I want to stay up, and I want to have high ground on people all the time, because if I got the high ground, if someone goes underneath me, if I'm in a fight with this guy right down here, he has absolutely no cover to go to whatsoever, so he just has to outstrafe me. The cover I have is just to walk backwards. I literally will just walk backwards and get out of his screen, and I'll be perfectly fine. And then if I need to get somewhere, I have the option to drop all the time. I just don't want to have everybody drop bottom mid after a kill, unless it's like a super necessary one. But right now, what he's doing is guarding Mando, but like we don't need to be guarding bottom mid right now, because they're gonna push out a snipe here, and we have nobody helping over in hotel, and they're making that push over there. So I mean, the flowers I think is the better, just to stay up. And to have that position. I'm not saying to not help her. You should be able to help her from up above. Just, you don't need to chase down there and have them. I like the flank here, at least the positioning, to kind of get behind these guys. Nice. Good hesitation.
The enemy has captured Bravo. Enemy team scoring. Inbound.
And we did it. So, okay, so we're doing a really good job of scrapping down here and whatnot, but like all of that could have been done from up above. All those flanks that are coming out, all of that could have been done from up above, and that's what I want you to be able to see there. Like, going bottom mid isn't necessarily a bad play, as long as we get the kill and we're able to snowball there, but not sending everybody down there, right?
Yeah. No, understood.
I like that right there. So I don't like how you got into that situation, but the way you play the situation, I like it. When you get to be that one shot, what you're trying to do, especially in a situation like that, is to not hide, get to somebody, get the damage on them. If you don't get the trade, at least you get the melee off on them.
Your team scoring.
Now, off my death cam right now, if I'm spinning it, because I'm trying to play off a death cams. Actually, you can't spin your death cam, never mind. But if you can see this right now, what I would see is I got two people bottom mid and then one not having any visuals going up towards snipe. So off spawn right now, what I want you to do is jump up into a window and help with visuals, help with crosses, and help with positioning here. So like jumping up into LR, or jumping up into LR or glass is the play right there.
LR glass. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
So-
too much.
Yeah, so you can see how much you're chasing and how much you're trying to help your other teammates, and this is what Eli was telling to me. I dad my teammates too much, where I'm trying to make up for their mistakes. If your teammate's gonna make that mistake and go bottom mid, let them go bottom mid and die. Don't make a double mistake just because you're trying to chase them.
Okay.
In that kind of a position, it might play slower, and it might feel really awkward of, well, I could really help her. But if you get up here into this kind of a position or into LR, you at least have the high ground on them, that you can look around and go, okay, where are they coming from? How do I help? And try to get an angle where you could put those same shots on them and help them from afar before you're making those pushes. I like to see you get into those spots a lot better. And what's gonna happen, like, you're not gonna go stand on LR or glass and not get shot. Like, somebody's gonna be looking for you, because most people are looking for those positions where they're like, okay, I gotta shut down the guy who's got to cross.
Right.
So you're gonna know where people are shooting at you from, and then in that spot, back up, re-shield, and then re-challenge.
The enemy has captured Alpha.
Right now, you gotta be thinking, I need to get up. I need to get up. Like, I need to be jumping top mid. I need to be jumping here.
Yeah.
This is about
Listen.
30 seconds of you just bottom mid, not helping your teammate. Like, they're in a 3v4 right now.
We've captured Alpha. Your team
We're
scoring.
quickly going on a minute. Okay, this is a good learning experience for those guys. And that kind of a position, when this guy is just hiding behind there, one shot, and his teammate is taking all that damage, he has to jump out and challenge that. That's an aggression play right there. He has to recognize it's a 1v2. He has to put that number on you, and then you're gonna end up looking and flicking to him and killing him, but his teammate's gonna live here. You almost killed both of them because this guy was just sitting in the corner like that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of play that if I'm making that aggression there and my teammate's not helping me, I get irritated. Ooh, look at that duck.
Trend locator en route.
Oh my god. Face palming, sorry. That was incredible. That was incredible use of that pillar there. That was something. And you killed both those guys. That was
Repulsor acquired.
it's like right here. What should you have done?
Jumped up.
Mm-hmm.
Just
It's almost always, and this is why I haven't been getting into like when to make those plays or snowball or push together, is because I want you to see like we need to be getting into those positions where we can play for the next spawn or the next pick or getting that positioning. Right now everybody is bottom mid. Everybody in the entire game is bottom mid. You would
Yeah.
be an absolute monster if you were just to lift up to snipe here and get this angle over on benches or poster. I mean, this flank right here, massive. This if you jumped up, you know, on this ledge right here, same thing. Like we gotta get up higher. And what you know, your team might yell, "Oh, you went the wrong way." You guys didn't lose that fight because me spawning in, I made the wrong choice. We lost that fight before I died the first time, right? And we don't need to keep making the same mistake of just running in there repeatedly. I mean, you got a kill there, but their team is now up. If you were up on up above, you'd be raining shots down these guys and at least challenging them.
Enemy team scoring.
And they're not too far ahead in score right now that you don't need to be making a play like that. You just get the positioning. Go LR, there we go.
Team scoring.
Let's get the
Stronghold Charlie.
nice. Stay alive here.
Oh, I jumped down again.
Yep, you over challenged a little bit on the ledge again. I'd like to see you stop challenging every angle on the map and more jump up and challenge the one angle you want and then start to expose your body a little bit. The pushing out, like if we're talking about our setup, you get up to this position here and your bread and butter is I'm watching hotel over in this corner, I'm watching over towards snipe, and that's what I'm doing right now until we get into an engagement. Once we get that first pick, then I'm pivoting out and I'm looking at the rest of the map. I don't need to put myself out here, because if you put yourself out here when it's a 4v4 and you take that damage first, you're going to have to give up your position, which is almost putting your team in a 3v4 because you're having to get out of your position already. Whereas if you waited until, you know, you lock down what you need to lock down and then you get that first pick and then you start to piv, that's when you need to peek out there. And then you like when the opposing team is down 1 or 2 kills, then you can squeeze out here and take on all the angles, because if they're going to shoot at you, you can at least call them out and team shot them. Right now you should be in a 1v1, like everybody should be in a 1v1 in a 4v4, right?
Yeah.
Now you're just now again, like the other times that we've been down here, you're just trying to make the most of the situation.
Yeah.
You also keep peeking out before your shields are fully back, and because you're not fully back, it kind of, you take a little bit more damage, where you can see you took 1 burst there and now you're down at half health because you weren't quite to the 100% mark. You took the game gives you a little bit more damage because you're not 100%. So now we're again at half shields, that we can't be in this fight. And now we have 3 people down in the hill again. And this is one of those spots where I'd be looking and go, okay, you need a soda driveway somewhere. You need to get away from this spot.
We've captured Bravo.
Somehow we got
The
out of
enemy
there.
has captured Alpha. Stronghold Charlie is ours. Your team scored.
So this would be, you know, when I was playing with you guys this weekend, there's a couple times that I said, let's just focus on getting the kills. This would be a great example of like what I mean when I say that. when you spawn in, instead of playing towards the objective so much, I want you to play for the setup and play for the picks. Because as soon as you get a pick or two, then we can start flying. And someone experienced like me, I'm waiting for that kill feed to pop that we have one, and I'm going to make the aggressive play. So if you don't know how to make the aggressive play there, at least play for the pick and watch what your team does there. So when we spawn in, I think the last 3 spawns, you've just jumped bottom mid. We're playing for that objective way too hard there that we just keep dying on it repeatedly. And the team that keeps scoring is the one who gets the last kill. It's not that they're outplaying you. It's that you guys just died first. So in this situation, I need you to recognize we need to play for the kills first and then play for the objective. If you have teammates who keep jumping on it, let them keep jumping on, but you need to play for the slays. So get to a window, get to a high ground, help them get the slay there, and then let them score it. Because eventually you're not going to be in this little free-for-all when they're all punching each other down here, and you'll be the one alive to jump down there and pick up 1 or 2 and then start scoring. Play for the picks first, and then let's start scoring. I know it's huge to watch that scoreboard stop going up, but like right now they're not even they're even past the halfway mark. Like they're not that far ahead of you guys.
Right.
Stronghold Bravo is ours.
I
Hey,
was
that-
gonna go window.
Yep.
Not my
No,
teammate.
that's all right. So like that's a learning experience right there, because you in your mind you're thinking about, okay, I spawned in, where should I go? The hesitations are going to happen until you start to get the rhythm of how to make that split second decision. And what you're going to start to find, and what I always told myself, is indecision is the worst decision. When I spawn in, I'm flying. I'm going to go to the spot that the first thing that I think of, that's where I'm going. And then if it doesn't work out, I go back and film later and I go, hey, why didn't this work? If I run up here and I just throw 2 grenades in my face and I get killed, I'm gonna go, okay, maybe I should have gone driveway. Maybe I should have gone over to window. But when you backpedal right there, it gives the other team about 1 or 2 seconds just to create more pressure towards the middle of the map. It's good that you backpedaled right there. I know you're thinking. I want you to just go with your first gut instinct of where are we going, and then when we go over these things, you can start to see where should I've gone. Right now, you should be watching over towards flowers. I don't know.
It's yours. Now we keep it that way. Power items on the field.
There you go. And you can see that you keep peeking that window that way where you walk around the corner. I want you to start looking towards hotel first to clear it and then start to peek.
Okay.
The other thing I would tell you is that if you do a warm up before the night begins, I would maybe take a 5 minutes just to go in academy and run around these maps and start trying to do jumps looking at the ground, so that you can, what I noticed there on that last little sequence is that you were scoring that flag looking in the corner because you needed to look where you were going to be jumping. I need you to be comfortable enough to be able to jump up there without having to look, that you can know where you can clamber or where you can crouch jump, because you need to be looking towards where people are going to kill you. I think that would be a huge improvement if you could do warm-ups that way.
Sure.
Your team scored.
Let's try and shoot at the truck.
All right, I don't dislike this. I'm gonna go back. I don't dislike this play here, and I want you to see why.
The field.
So you challenge. Okay, I like that. I like that aggression right there. If you're jumping up, you're gonna find out where they're at. You're gonna try to pressure them. You get shot back down, but you stayed alive. Huge. You re-rotate and you're like, I'm gonna go up with this teammate. I'm gonna peek out here, and I'm gonna take this angle right now where I'm not over committed to it, but I'm still committed to this objective. And we got a pick. So now you guys have a pick. You can fly, which is what you do here. And you don't over challenge, okay? I don't like how you peek out there looking up this way and then look over. Like that should have been the opposite way. You should have been looked up there and then peeked looking this way. Just a little thing. But then, like, okay, you score here. At this point, run. Like you can get out of here. Like you could go back driveway. You could go over to posters. I wouldn't go dip, but like once you score that, now you guys have it. You flip the narrative that now they have to be the ones to push onto it. They're the ones that when they jump on it, it's gonna ding in your guys' ear. So you just get off of this. You don't need to fight this guy. But then even here, you're still fighting with your teammate and you're using this cover over here. I love that. I think you overstayed your welcome. That's why you died there. But like, I want you to see that you made good rotations there. You made good challenges. But as soon as you got that cap, you should just be running out of there. Good looking, good looking. In a spot like that, what I want you to start doing when you get to a spot that we've talked about that we want to hold, especially like in this situation, we're still playing for a pick and you are trying to force these picks so hard that it's making you die. I want you to stop that. When you get into a spot like this, so you jump up here, okay?
Yep.
You put that shot on that guy. He's out of your zone. I want you to start looking for the next guy. I want you to peek over towards flowers. I want you to peek over towards ledge. I want you to peek over towards snipe. And if that doesn't work, let's get a new angle. Maybe you need to push out on a yard. I want you to stop dropping bottom middle to chase kills. And I want you to hold the area that you've already got and start looking for another one. One of the ways that you can put pressure on other teams is by not necessarily getting the kill, but putting shots into people over. Just shoot a guy twice, look for the next one. Shoot a guy twice, look for the next one. At some point, they're gonna get picked up by somebody on your team and die. Instead, we challenge this guy and he's gonna outshoot us. You end up getting it as I mean, I'm glad you got the trade. It's not a good trade, but I'm glad you got the trade. Stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up.
Gain the lead.
Comfortable going down.
You are really comfortable with just dropping bottom mid.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's a social slayer habit. It's literally you're not thinking about how to create space and hold space on the map. You're thinking about how do I go get a kill, and the situations that the outcomes that you're getting is either you're dead and they're just outscoring you, or you're left one shot and you're not able to be in the fight. And that's what I need you to be able to see. You need to be able to stay up in the positions that we need and keep putting shots on guys. And if your teammates are going to keep dropping bottom mid, bait them to get the kills, but you don't need to necessarily drop down there. And if they call you out, you need to tell them, hey, we need to stay up. We need to play together and get these kills. Stop dropping bottom mid. And then when you get the objective, I need you to like run and get out of here a lot quicker. Nice. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I got that call out.
So on a defensive grenade like this, I'm okay with the second grenade. The first grenade I'm not with. That's you're tricking that way too far. When I need you to think about how people are gonna kill you here, when you throw that grenade, if he challenges, like, so if he challenges you, like he just full force challenges you, he's gonna do exactly what he does. He's gonna slide in and jump. If he slides in and jumps, he's gonna land somewhere over here. So you need to throw that grenade like right here so that it bounces back with him. That's what you want to do here. Okay. Instead of throwing it through him, because it's just gonna go by him. Because if he peeks you like a little bit, like a little tiny peek, instead of running full force out, and he just kind of like boop, you know, peeks right here on this corner, then this grenade is gonna sort of like, if it lands right about where that grenade is anyway, it's gonna kind of, you know, damage him a little bit, but it gives you time to be able to get out of this fight. What you're worried about right now, and what needs to be in your head, is this guy's gonna full chow me and I'm not gonna have anywhere to go. If he sort of peeks me a little bit, I can get into this corner and drag him all the way out and kind of use this, you know, bunker here, or I can get behind this wall. If he full chows me, I'm in the middle of the room. I have nothing to do here. I'm gonna throw this grenade against the wall so it bounces back towards where he is, and he's gonna land right on it.
Yeah,
It would have exploded right there and he would have died.
right. and then I gotta reload.
I have no words, but so the first grenade, I don't like it because you're trying to just get like random damage, but the second grenade, I'm glad you threw it. So let's just change up where we're trying to throw that. It needs to be defensive where it's going to actually kill somebody or hurt somebody when they get out there.
Okay. Yeah.
Good looks, don't drop.
And yeah, but
You end up getting that kill, good, and then now you're gonna fly, which is good. But you guys are down too, so we need to.
Stronghold Charlie lost.
ooh,
There we go. Yeah, let's get to the window. There we go. There we go.
that's weird. I thought it was.
I feel like I don't know what to call this, but it feels like you're like playing like a detective, where they're like, oh, there's been a murder down here, and then you're like, yep, someone's been murdered. Now I gotta look for the next murder, and the murders just keep happening before you get there.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, I've said it 1,000 times already, but instead of dropping down there, let's play up more and look for those angles, look for those kills.
Yeah.
Trust that your teammates are gonna get the kills down there, or you're gonna be able to clean up, you know, one shots.
Your
Right.
team gained the lead. S7 sniper available.
Yeah, and on this map, that middle map is just like it's just constantly changing this game.
Yeah, and off the beginning, what at least what I'm noticing and what I hope you can see is that the only team that's scoring is the one who dies last. That's literally the only no one has any control over this map, and so if you can get it to the point that you're the one controlling it, like right now, and you just need to stay out of it, all you need to do is pick up these one shots. Like, you don't have to battle on this. You should be top mid. You should be up in one of those positions where you can shoot shots down on them.
Yeah.
Instead, we got 3 people bottom mid, and I also want you to notice you have 3 people bottom mid. You should be up. Your teammate, if your teammates want to hang out down there, let them hang out down there. You can pick up those kills from afar. I mean, you've been down here for about 2 minutes now.
Pretty much, yeah. Bodyguard. Would be-
Stronghold
And even though you're down here, they still capped it like that.
enemy team scored.
Yeah, because then I got.
That's a good. That's a good kill.
I think I get aided here.
You end up turning that into a play. I like it. I mean, the decisions there are good once they happen. But let's play up more.
Yeah, this is where they make a big run.
You guys were down by 50, so you guys came back.
We did.
Yep. Here we go. We don't need to.
Yeah.
So you drop down there without even taking any shots, though. There you go. This is perfect. Wonderful. I love it. I love it. You don't need to, you don't need to hide there because you got that pick. Nice. Damn.
Yeah.
You had a good idea though. So like on that one, you can see you jumped up, you challenged those guys to help your team, and then once you got the pick, then you flew towards the objective. That's the sequence of events that need to happen.
Yeah.
I'd like to see another pick or more control there before you drop on it, but you at least had the order of operations correct there.
Yeah, and see right there, if it stayed LR.
You would have been able to help them and the poster guy who's about to challenge her.
Instead of dead.
But you can see it, and that's why we go over these.
Yeah.
Lost the lead.
Ninja? I think that exact spot you've died on a few times now.
Yeah. Especially if there's another chase.
That was amazing. So you can see it, and I'm glad you can see it. And so now what's gonna happen is you're gonna be in game and you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna hesitate. You're like, oh shoot, I shouldn't be doing this. And then you'll get to the point where you're not gonna be doing that, which is hesitation is good, at least for growth. Don't need to chase this guy. That's a simple call out to your teammate.
Yeah.
But you got the kill. Now you're flying towards the objective. Nice, we got 2 kills.
And we both.
Almost got a 3rd.
Yeah.
Now they're coming up spawn. They're gonna grab it. Okay.
Yeah.
LR, 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 LR.
Got there eventually.
The enemy has captured Alpha.
So even this, they're pulling you out of the fight right now.
Right.
I put those first 2 shots on him, like, you know, challenge him, but then look for him on flowers. Like he's really only gonna go 2 ways. He's either gonna go to your left and challenge you on one of these 3 windows right here, or he's gonna go to your right. And I need you to be able to see that and then jump up, you know, to this ledge. We need to get into the, we need to have eyes on the middle in the fight and up more.
Your team's scoring. It's yours. Now we keep it that way.
And now we're okay, but we're dead and we're jumping on the objective. Did you guys win this?
Enemy team scoring.
We did.
Oh boy.
Yeah, just it got
Window,
really
here we go. It's like one thing another thing you haven't done all game is looked at the person who's over on glass or looked at posters. So
No.
there's similar like a recharge where like you need to break the guy off of A or guy off of gold. You're not even looking at those positions. So before you start flying in the objective, I want you to start thinking about what am I looking for here and playing to get that space on the map, get them out of their positions. At your rank, everybody's just kind of flying towards the objective. Use that to your advantage. Be the last guy standing on the hill. Stop being the first one into it.
Stronghold Bravo is ours.
I don't hate it. But I like how you know off spawn you're running towards. I need to have the visuals. Nice. I don't. So okay. You saved the game there, and that was a good play. So okay, so now you guys have it back. So this is where Halo being situational, there's never the right answer to every single situation, which is why I want at a basic level everybody to understand we need to get to a setup, and then here's the objectives that we're playing for. These are the positions that we want. Here's how you play to your teammate, and getting all of that in line so that we can play a consistent game, because eventually you're going to run into these situations that break that trend. Like right there, you needed to stay alive on that hill because they were 5 seconds away from winning. You had to play on that hill. You had no other choice but to play on it, and you know how to do that because you've been doing it all game apparently. But your use of the environment here was really good because you peeked off to not take that grenade, and you peeked back on, and they threw a second one, so you peeked back off and back on. Enough time that you bought for your team to be able to get back there and fight on it. That was well played.
We've captured Bravo.
Sadly, you played the entire game that way, but that was really well played in that instance right there. And so that, I mean, you didn't understand that, and this is where talking about the situations of it, like everything's gonna be a little bit different.
Stronghold Charlie is
Now your team, and I don't know if you consciously knew this, your team was grabbing C. You just need to stay alive here to, like, you can flip spawns here. It doesn't matter. You guys still have 2 points. You need to hold this position here, and now they need to fight again for B. And so like right now, in your mind, what needs to be going on is we're going to use A and C as leverage of which one we're going to keep pressure on, because they have to take B from us. We need to be able to watch B and hold B, but then we can rotate off at A and C. And so if I position myself here, if I position myself on hotel or on flowers, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be able to rotate to one of these other objectives, and they're going to have to put multiple people there.
The enemy has captured Alpha.
Why were you not playing the rest of the game this way? Look at this. Pick that call out up. We're going to go top mid. We're going to start looking for people. We're gonna put the what, Wolf, where was this the rest of the game?
I don't know.
Shut up. You did not just not drop there. You're playing this perfectly. I mean, seriously, look at this. You're playing up, you're playing off of callouts, you're playing your zone. I don't know if we need to drop right here, but no, we didn't need to drop there. But you played that perfectly, where you're jumping back and forth between the objectives, you're putting shots on guys.
Yeah.
That's how that little sequence there is how you play this. That play Halo Strongholds and this map.
S7 sniper available. Enemy team scoring.
No way. Way too aggressive there, but that's.
Yeah.
And they got that, but you guys jumped onto A.
Your team scoring.
Perfect. Stay alive here.
That was just adrenaline. Just trying to keep him off it.
This is intense.
Yeah.
Also, nobody has grabbed. Quantum was grabbed one time this entire game.
Yeah.
You're quite elite at that.
And we switch. There we go. Now they got 3 people on B, so fly. Oh, you got A. Never mind. Help your teammate here. Run out towards driveway. I don't know what clicked between. I mean, them getting to 245, but you played this a lot better. I'd like you to get off of these objectives a lot quicker to get to a better position. Like, you guys own it. All you have to do is kill them and reset it. That should be game, right? Yeah, that's game. Nice. The last sequence there, the last 5 minutes, you played that wonderfully. We need to have more of that. So playing up more, stop chasing, just play up more and stop being the first one on the objectives. I think you'd improve a lot there.
Okay.
And be more lethal with just how do we kill more people, right?
Understood.
Anybody else? Vibrant, do you have any questions? Rhino, Monkeys, Jason?
Nope.
Okay, I hope that helped a little bit on Plaza. I'd like to do another Plaza on Saturday. I will set a reminder that we will have class. Last weekend was my kid's birthday. But we'll and maybe do this each week where we take 2 days to look at the same map so we can kind of have the same consistencies there and see like how it tracks from Tuesday to Saturday. All right, and who wants to play some SWAT?